A very good evening, viewer. You're most welcome to the NILE weekly news roundup on your West Nile television, where we give you the highlights of the news bulletins of the week every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Okumaringa Christine. Let's dive straight into the stories that made headlines throughout the week. During the celebration of the International Women's Day at Lefori Town Council, Moyo District, women have been urged to promote peace and unity in their families so as to promote development in the district. Women and leaders from across Moyo District graced the occasion and celebrated the women for their tremendous role in shaping the society. Okumu Dominic has more.
The district celebration brought in women and leaders from across the district to grace the occasion and celebrate the women for their tremendous role in shaping up the society. Honorable Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, the Minister for Primary Education who doubles as the Woman Member of Parliament, Moyo District, was the chief guest during the celebration of the International Women's Day, urged the women to bring unity in their families, saying women are like doves and doves are known for bringing peace. She implored the women to be peacemakers in their families so as to promote development.
Let's bring unity to the family. Women are known as doves. Doves are peacemakers. When there is no peace, there will be no development. When there is no harmony, we cannot grow. So I call upon you today, as you go to your various homes, let's be instrument of peace. Let's be role model for the people so that we can transform our community.
Honorable Alero Thomas, the Member of Parliament for West Moyo County, said this year's theme for the International Women's Day is to empower the girl child and the women in order to embrace modern development methods, but said this can only be possible if the girl child is kept in school and if the women can embrace the different government programs. The women can be empowered to be at par with the men. He therefore urged that the girl child should be kept in school so that this dream can be achieved.
This year's Women's Day celebration has got a theme where we are supposed to empower the girl child, where we're supposed to empower the women in order to embrace modern development methods. And this can only happen when we encourage our girl child to go to school. Because we have USE, we have UPE, we have 1.5 points for those girls who have excelled in A level, and therefore they can only come at par with the men if they can embrace all development programs that has been brought in by the government. Like
Mr. Gore Goffin, the resident district commissioner Moyo, lauded the government for empowering women and involving women fully in running the affairs of the country, saying this explains the reason women are everywhere and always represented fully in every sector.
Fully and are recognized with equal opportunities like men do. We want to congratulate you and want to congratulate our government for recognizing the abilities in women. Kindly please clap for the government and the president. In Uganda today, women are doing things that they were not doing before. Women are in leadership. Women are in academics. Women are in the market.
Mrs. Onger Tojeska, the Chief Administrative Officer Moyo, urged the women to work hard and make money to support their husbands, saying there continues to exist domestic violence in homes because the women tend to over-demand from their men. But if the women can change their behaviors, she feels the cases of domestic violence can be stopped.
We can do it. Yes. Let us work hard and provide so that the men can respect us. If you have money, no man will beat you. These men beat us because we over-ask them. Let's work hard, provide, and I can tell you, they will be the ones now saying, what can I do for you? And I'm sure that's what we want.
Honorable Tiondi Dominic, the Chairman Local Council 3, Lefori Town Council, lauded the Minister for always supporting the women and championing the girl child education in the district, saying this will go a long way in empowering the women.
And you have taken a bold decision to see how girl child education can be promoted. So that is a very great achievement, and I wish that every woman who is here has to take that, so that we develop our country together.
The International Women's Day is a day to celebrate and appreciate the role of women in the society. The day is celebrated worldwide on every 8th March every year, with the national celebration held at Katakwi District, while Moyo District celebrated the International Women's Day at Lefori Primary Playgrounds in Lefori Town Council under the theme Accelerating Gender Equality Through Women and Children Empowerment. I'm Dominic Anton Okumo for West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories this evening as Uganda joined the rest of the world in celebrating International Women's Day. From Acholi sub-region, women shared some of the difficulties they have been facing in achieving the level of success in gender equality and equity that they are enjoying now. Stephen Okello reports.
Rosa Job, an 80-year-old mother from Kiromesel in Gulu City, was raised in a traditional home. According to Rose, back then, girls' movement were very limited. They were majorly taught by their mothers how to manage household affairs.
One may teach men and give the whole more for Agi for Dugu. One for the open over on a Puquarian. So as if we're being do, don't quit it for the monk of the door and quit your do chapter. They take them to work be, will see the chapter on a kilowatt walking.
The 80-year-old Ajok remembered learning for the first time about the issue of gender equality and gender equity in the late 70s. And it was just a year, say, nothing practical.
Then we watch and more money, Jaro and your rum way, Nikitua Army, and a tiki curve, tiki power. Power, a low theatre and look at any unbound look. You know, for you are my funny before.
According to Ajok, during their time, the practicality of women's rights was very limited at both family and community level.
Carwanic can meet where for more mopper. The pin dog mobile, killing Latin young, killing dog up. Tell my mamma and the ticket where mobile baba. Baba, a ticket where. A go live on a given your mirror between man. In Ben Lou again, and in a month of way, waited on a day lock in American in a town door and second.
But decades after, the effort of various human rights activists, NGOs, government through Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, things are changing. Different chiefdoms in Acholi are now reorganizing the effort of women by giving them a space in the chiefdom councils.
Culturally, the woman back then was not allowed to do a number of things. But that alone we are now doing away with culturally. We really uphold, like even if you come to the cultural institution of Acholi, we have the women section. They also sit the council of chiefs. They also contribute. So we do not now encourage any marginalization. We want the women to take part in the decision making in society. We have seen women become very, very good leaders in politics.
Phoebe Ayo is a district speaker at Gulu District Local Government. She is also a member of Patera Chiefdom Council. Ayo says the creation of women desk in the Council of Chiefs in various chiefdoms of Acholi is a sign that Acholi community has realized the value of women in their society.
When we sit as the council, there is no restriction. You don't sit in a corner because you are a woman. We sit and we talk as a group of people, the men and the women. That is in a cultural setting. To me alone, that is already a move. It used not to happen like that. There is much more respect for women than it used to be those days. And I think we are beginning to drop cultural practices that press the women down, but we are looking at promoting what brings coherence in the family setting.
Ayo is also glad to witness the Acholi Cultural Institution freeing women from various cultural practices that limit their participation in various cultural activities.
The women were not allowed to eat chicken, but that is no longer the case right now. Then we'll be seen as an okan, meaning an odd person if you eat chicken. But that is no longer the practice at the moment. So we are changing, but also in terms of how resources are used in the homes, women are beginning to have a say.
Nora Nyel, the proprietor of Lamar Studio, says the presence of women in the socio-economic development of Uganda is now being felt in women's engagement in business.
I think women are quite empowered in northern Uganda in the sense that a lot of women are doing business independently. There are a lot of also women leaders. But the economic situation is still a challenging. I think the situation is that, money is not flowing as easily as it has been in the past.
However, Florence Lalang believes that gender equality and gender equity are mostly felt by the educated women.
There is still an inequality and equity in the achievement of women emancipation. When it comes to the woman at the grassroots, that woman in the village, that illiterate woman deep down in the village who is sleeping in the grass thatch hut and who does not have much access to services, those women are still left behind. Because when you look at the world we are in today, it has been digitalized. We are really going digital. There's a lot of technological development which has left out this community woman.
As Acholi women join the rest of the world in celebrating their victory in the fights against gender equality, there is a lot more which still need to be done to bridge the gap between the grassroots women and the elites. Stephen Okello for West Nile Television, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories, Aurora Regional Referral Hospital, in collaboration with the Uganda Society for Disabled Children, held a 5-day ear, nose and throat surgical health camp that was running from the 3rd to the 7th of March 2024, targeting 42 children below the age of 10 years old suffering from ear, nose and throat complications in need of surgical operation. Take a look. Aurora Regional Referral Hospital, in collaboration with Uganda Society for Disabled Children, held a 5-day ear, nose and throat surgical health camp that has been running from the 3rd to the 7th of March 2024, targeting 42 children below the age of 10 years old suffering from ear, nose and throat health complications that are in dire need of surgical operations. Gloria Iyotaru, the communications officer for Uganda Society for Disabled Children, in an interview with West Nile Television reporter, stated that so far 35 children have been screened, with 18 children that have already received ENT surgical operations.
We are at Arua Regional Referral Hospital conducting the ENT camp. It started on 3rd, ending tomorrow, which is 7th, and our target was 45 children, that is the minimum, but so far 34 children have been screened. And on the first day, which was on Monday, 5 children were operated, and then yesterday 8 were operated, and then today we are hoping 7 children to be operated, though there are 2 who are on standby. The main aim of this camp, we are looking at parents, the children who are out there and have got problems that have got deformities with the ear, nose and throat, but their parents can't raise the money. So as USPC, we've come and in partnership with Arua Regional Hospital, we want to support these parents such that their children can undergo their operation since it is expensive.
Onguti Hilary Kennedy, the ENT Senior Medical or Clinical Officer at Aurora Regional Referral Hospital, stated that this camp has come timely as the hospital has been having a backlog of ENT patients that were supposed to receive surgical services and are being referred to Mulago Hospital. Unguti Hilary Kennedy further advised parents to avoid giving children access to small seeds and coins which can easily be swallowed, and also to avoid extremity of emotions which can lead to ENT accidents in children.
There have been some backlog of patients who are supposed to be, in fact, operated at home. So this has been a very good chance for us because we have been referring some of these patients out to Mulago, and to really thank you, USDC, so much for the opportunity they have really given. We are targeting children with the conditions that need operation, and some of these conditions, which are in fact very common in children, is what we call adenoid hypertrophy. That means there's a tissue just behind the nose, towards the mouth, that is, it gets enlarged for reasons, one reason or the other. We have a 4-day camp of operation starting Monday. We are ending tomorrow on Thursday, and the number that we target to achieve, like about at least 32 patients, if possible. We can have 8 per day, but because of the nature of the operations, it varies. There is one thing that stands out for parents, that is foreign body, maybe in the ear, nose, throat, worse still foreign body in the airway. So I would like to take this opportunity to really advise mothers, parents, caregivers that they should never ever give children seeds like groundnuts, maize, beans, from the age of up to the age of around 5. And more still, they should avoid extremities of emotion. When I say extremities of emotion, I mean don't make the child laugh while eating, or don't irritate the child so that he cries while there is something in the mouth. There is very high chance of that child inhaling this into the airway.
Our Regional Referral Hospital's ear, nose and throat surgical camp is intended to assist parents who cannot afford to pay for ear, nose and throat surgical services, hence bringing the services closer to the community. Okumaringa Christine, for West Nile Television, Nilecast. And more in the stories. The leaders are demanding for explanation from the Nebi District engineer as to why the maintenance work on some of the major roads is delaying completion. This came after, during a revelation of a monitoring tour meant to monitor the progress and state of roads in Greater Nebi region. Take a look.
Following the monitoring of major roads, both in Nebi District and Nebi Municipality respectively, on Wednesday, 6th March this year, by the district leaders, it was discovered that the 1 billion Uganda Road Fund meant for road maintenance of Nebi roads has not been fully utilized. The roads being worked on does not exceed 28 kilometers, even though the district is having its own graders, excavators, and their operators. The leaders are demanding explanation from the district engineer on how much does it cost to maintain a kilometer of road. Isaac Otimgiu Ismail, Padire County Member of Parliament, believes that the roads under maintenance is equally not fully worked on. Otimgiu further narrated that the funds should be fully used so that local people can get good service delivery from the government.
To see what has actually been worked upon, and then tomorrow we shall have a board meeting, the second day of the road committee. As members of parliament, one of our jurisdiction is that we have to monitor all government programs. to make sure that there is value for money. And as we are all aware, 1 billion shillings was actually passed in Parliament, whereby every district was now given money for maintenance of equivalent to 1 billion shillings. That is different from the road fund, which was coming to the various districts. Now most of the districts have actually received half of that money, that is 500 million. And that is why today we are moving around to try and inspect the roads. And we have inspected 2 major roads. We went through here, through Chwera up to Rusi. Then we went also down to from Rusi down to Bangere, Atele up to Parombo.
Hashim Suleiman, Member of Parliament, Nebi Municipality, while monitoring the roads within municipality, observed that the roads stretching from Showers to Bendo should be put as a priority since it serves farmers from rural areas.
The formal meeting now, we shall discuss what we saw. We drove the whole day, by the way. We saw a number of roads and within the municipality. That is the Showers Road. And then we saw also Bishop's Road going up to the Kia side. Then we saw they call it Construction Road. Then we saw K Road. And then we went to the district. We saw this road from Ashwera up to Erusi. Then we went in from Erusi. We saw that road that goes to Albongo, Atele, up to Parombo there. Then we saw the work UNRWA is doing in Parombo, the drainage system they are building in front of the police there. So far, what we have seen, tomorrow we shall try to see a way forward of improving whatever these people are doing on the ground, so that we get better service for our people as far as the road works are concerned.
However, Godfrey Abekane, one of the farmers in Rusap County, said some bridges in the district are broken, putting lives of farmers at risk. Abekane appealed to the district leaders to expedite the process of maintaining the roads as rainy season nears.
I'm living in this area, but the problem we are facing along this road began from the other time of the mostly we are affecting people mostly security. So this road, as it slope like here it is a slope. At least it needs more maram to construct this road.
Meanwhile, Joseph Olore Kasamba, Nebi Municipality engineer, explained to the legislators why some of the roads have not been fully worked on. Olore explains that the municipality shares some road equipments with Nebi districts to work on the roads, which is slowing down works. The 2 days monitoring by the MPs will end today with solutions to the challenges. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, the Public Accounts Committee of Uganda Parliament on Monday, the 4th of March 2024, visited the newly built Arua Main Market, which activated emotions of the vendors who started accusing politicians and technocrats in the city for being responsible for the market mess. Recent report from the Office of the Resident City Commissioner for Arua City indicated that over 400 stalls have remained unoccupied as vendors continue with street vending and unorganized markets that are outside the main market building. Take a look.
Issues regarding the Arua City Main Market controversially came to limelight a year ago after it emerged that the stalls were erroneously allocated to vendors, with some government officials alleged to be occupying some of the rooms.
We must take the fact here. Not a matter of taking the fact. You allow someone to also. We move from here now. This market is at the moment. Can we have order, please?
While the visit of the committee reactivated emotions of the vendors who started accusing politicians and technocrats in the city for being responsible for this market mess, Mauzu Adiru, a cloth vendor occupying a stall in the second floor of the main market, lamented how their businesses are collapsing because of the scattered market. Right Honorable Osuga Rasool, the Speaker for Central Division Arua City Council, castigated the visit by PAC members for not being straightforward to address the root cause of the problem, but rather focusing on diversionary issues in the market.
The coming of PAC, to me, is a good thing, but the unfortunate bit is them not understanding the real cancer of the main market. You see, people have just been addressing to them symptoms, but they have not clearly told them where the cancer is. And that is why when the minister came some months ago, he had about 10 guidelines on how to resolve the issue of the main market. But because the cancer was not identified and addressed, up to now, the main market issue has remained unresolved. So not unless the main issue or the main disease, the main cancer is handled.
He also blamed the authorities for not minding about allocation of stores to the former tenants.
When the market was constructed under the Matip 2 program, initially there were less than 60 lockups. But when the market was constructed, about 90 plus lockups were created, plus stores. But the unfortunate bit is, even when there were 60 people in the initial market, now when the new market was constructed and there are now more than 60 lockups, those 60 vendors who were in the initial market unfortunately missed their own lockups. So it is this disgruntled former tenants of the then Arua Municipal Council, but now of Arua City Council, who have decided now to walk away because they realize that they are not given what they are supposed to be given. So not unless these issues are addressed, the main market issue will remain unresolved. So
Muzaid Kemis, the mayor for Central Division Arua City, described the visit by the PAC committee MPs as very important to get views from the public regarding affairs of the main market.
I have taken it as a positive visit because there are a lot of areas. Their visit is never like accountability visit, like where the PAC comes and arrest people, do this, but their visit is for the betterment of the town. That is to my own understanding and to what I analyzed from their various speeches. They wanted people to have their say, and basically they were looking to the issues concerning the market. That is basically that is what they were very much interested in, and we went with them. They visited the market. They saw the huge number of stalls that were still free. People gave their reasons, and here it was very embarrassing. It was very embarrassing because the whole room was saying political interference. There were interferences with the politicians. So some of us were wondering. We were wondering what has happened exactly.
The Deputy RCC for Central Division Arua City, Mr. Jamaham Jamil, welcomed the oversight tour in the main market by the Public Accounts Committee MPs.
It is within their mandate. They are supposed to come, whether they write to us, whether not, they have to come. When they come, we must pave way to allow them to do their work. And we give them necessary support. That's where my senior was able to mobilize us to go and they have attended the meeting. They went to the market, they have seen what they are supposed to do. They will also have their report, which they will present to the parliament. In any case, if it affects, I came here when the market was already in that confusion. Actually, the best person to be asked should have been the division mayor. Why is this one happening? Because he supervises the town clerk. It is within his mandate, within his role, to make sure that the town, the street must be very clear.
The committee delegation leader, Honorable Dr. Isingoma Patrick, who is also the MP for Hoima City, affirmed that their committee is going to closely follow up on these challenges affecting the market so that they can be addressed.
The issue of the roadside, those makeshift markets are going to be addressed. We are going to be following up in our way, because we shall be communicating as a committee to find out how the matter is getting addressed. We are waiting, shall be following up on his office and all the people who are responsible for this, to sort out this matter. But of course it is urgent. It is very urgent, and I'm sorry to say, what I'm saying that this matter of sorting out this shop street vending is very urgent.
Very urgent.
It's as our commitment, please let it be handled and let it be addressed as quickly as possible.
Recent report from the office of the resident city commissioner for Arua City indicated that over 700 stalls have remained unoccupied as vendors continue with street vending and unorganized markets that are outside the main market building. Oshuta Yusuf, Western Television, Nalkaso.
And more in our stories, leaders have tasked the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Thomas Tayabwa, to explain the harsh operations of fishers protection units on the fishermen on Lake Albert in Pakwach district. This comes following the arrest and detention of some fishermen and impoundment of their fishing gears. Alfred Jawok reports.
The woman member of parliament for Pakwach district, Honorable Jena Vurpachetho, has urged the Deputy Speaker of Parliament to help the fishing community of Pakwach district to ease operations on River Nile and Lake Albert as the Fisheries Protection Unit officers use excessive forces on the fishermen. The legislator made this appeal recently during the visit of Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Thomas Tayabwa, in Pakwach district. She called on the government to unite in the cause to promote proper fishing in the country and explained that this act will improve the fishermen' growing economy as people of Pakwach district depend on fishing activities to sustain their families.
Be quick. Our main concern, like when we were coming here together with you, did ask me, and I mentioned to you, which I want to mention publicly here. Our main concern in Donam is not security, is not hunger at the moment, but it is about the socio-economic impact of the fisheries operation on the Lake Albert and Albert Nile. Right, Honorable Speaker, the name Donam means the people who live along a water body, and in this case, the Albert Nile. Pakwach district, we are 8 sub-counties and 2 town councils. That makes it 10, and out of the 10, 9 sub-counties along the Nile here. Right, Honorable Speaker, we did pass a law. Although some of us may have not agreed with some of the clauses, but we take collective responsibility. But we are not challenging the law as of now. What we are not happy of as people of Donam is the manner in which the policy, the fisheries policy, is being implemented. Right, Honorable Speaker, you know that Parliament requested the Minister of Agriculture to come back with a regulation on the floor of Parliament that should specify the size of boats on either a lake or a river. That to date has not been brought on the floor of Parliament. So we wonder why the operation is ongoing when there is no law that regulates the sizes of, there is no size of boats prescribed on any water of Uganda. We wonder why. But, Right Honourable Speaker, for the net sizes, the people of Dunam accept that we should not catch young fish. But now, the manner in which it is being done is inhuman. Why? The level of extortion is increasingly biting the people of Dunam and us, the leaders. The soldiers have turned it into a business.
The State Minister for Northern Uganda, Grace Kuchin Freedom, highlighted that the earnings from the small fish are not as much as expected, however, explained the benefits that come with protecting them. Kuyuchin states that 70% of the annual fishery is comprised of small fish such as mukene or silverfish and other immature fish. Additionally, these small fish contribute to the employment of 60% of the fishing communities. She mentioned that the detestation of the vice is not only for the betterment of the country's economy, but also to sustain the livelihoods of the fishing community, and advocated for the young community to engage in the proper fishing practices, pledging government support.
Cry because of arrest of fish of business communities in Pakwach and in other areas also brought in this decision. And yesterday as I was coming, I was very keen to see the government has good policy. The government wants to promote the fish industry, but the government cannot also tolerate wrong. There are a few activities that have not been right. The fish business, the business women who were arrested here at Pakwach spent 9 days before they could be sorted out. If there is any wrong, we cannot tolerate adding another wrong, and we think we are working well. So the Prime Minister again said, especially for Pakwach here, that there has to be a one-stop center for all the checkings. As you are crossing, you'll find a checkpoint of the fish department under UPDF. Then you'll cross again another 100 meters, you find URA. Then another 50 meters, you find police. This does not give us good image. So the Prime Minister directed in my hearing, that's why I want to report it here, because when that incident happened, I stayed for 3 hours at the bridge. I couldn't. The RDC slept 2 nights at the bridge together with the business women because they could not move. So the Prime Minister had directed that has to...
Responding to a standoff by West Nile and South Sudan fish traders recently in Pakwach after the fisheries unit impounded their fish for not meeting the required standards, Right Honourable Thomas Tayebwa said a delegation from the Minister of Agriculture, Fishing and Animal Husbandry is set to meet with South Sudan officials to assess the type of fish and the number of tons to be imported into Uganda. However, he issued a caution to the Fisheries Protection Unit who use excessive forces on the fishing communities, but emphasized that he will meet the President over the matter.
But I will go and share them with His Excellency on Wednesday. These are issues which we have to look at. Because Honorable Quintin, perhaps we talked about issues of alternative sources of income for people living along the Nile and the lake. Their biggest issue is not that. Their biggest issue is the excessive force used in enforcing the law. We have to look into that. We have to look into that. And it's an issue affecting the NRM. We shouldn't shy away from it. I have some MPs who told me I won because you beat people in the lake. And they have been about it. So, we have to look at this issue seriously.
It is over 2 years since Parliament passed a law against illegal fishing gears and boats on water bodies. Economic activities of the people around the lakes and rivers have been affected, making it hard for some parents to pay school fees and sustain their families. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. The youth in Moyo district are grappling with the lack of clear information about sexual reproductive health rights and shy away from family planning services. This was revealed during an inception meeting which brought various stakeholders including religious, cultural, civil and youth among others. Okumu Dominic reports.
The inception meeting, which brought in a handful of stakeholders including religious, cultural, civil and the youth together to deliberate on the program and give it the much needed support to run within the district. Honorable Isadru Peter, the district youth chairman Moyo district, during the meeting said the youth in the district tend to always shy away from receiving family planning services, coupled with the lack of information about sexual and reproductive health rights, which has made things even more worse. He therefore requests the implementing partners to work together with the youth leaders in the district so as to disseminate the information about sexual and reproductive health rights among the youths in the district.
My youths are a bit shy in accessing these services. Another thing is information gap. These youth-friendly services are there, but now who is to tell to the youth? Most of us, sometimes these organizations come like that, but now my request is let us go deep at the grassroots level. We, the leaders, we are here, but it's a bit challenging sometimes for us to go down sometimes to tell this. With the youth leaders, we have that capacity, we can go in the communities and tell. But we felt that our effort is not still enough. To have community barazas good enough, you people are now, you have targeted schools. We move in schools with you and we see how this information will be disseminated.
Mr. Ameko Jimmy, the District Community Development Officer Moyo, said the district lacks shelter for accommodating young offenders in the district and request well-wishers to come to their aid and facilitate the movement of the young offenders and the officers so as to allow the juvenile justice to take its course, saying the district always finds a lot of challenges in transporting the juvenile to the remand homes in Arua due to lack of finance and transport facilities in the district.
Districts do not have holding centers or shelters where you can be able to keep the children as their cases proceed within the districts. So we are requesting for partners who can come in to support government to see how we can be able to support those gaps, putting up shelters, maybe at the police for juvenile or children in conflict with the law, and also supporting the office of the probation officers.
Mr. Ireku George Mbaya, the district planner, said the water component has been left out in the strengthening adolescent youth program, which he feels needs to be added so as to promote good menstrual health and hygiene among the girls while receiving the services in schools and health facilities.
There's one thing that we have missed out, the component of water and sanitation in sexual reproductive health rights. I think it's very critical, especially when you look at the target areas that we are looking at, the school environment. I would love that the element of water and sanitation is incorporated so that when these girls are in the period of menstrual period, the issue of hygiene is equally addressed. I see that one missing in this.
Mr. Bakas Solomon, a retired pastor and the chairman Public Accounts Committee Moyo District, said there is division among the parents on family planning services, with educated parents supporting the service while uneducated parents don't support, adding that there are many youths who are still green about the sexual and reproductive health rights in the villages and wonders how those youths can be helped so as to impress the program.
The other parents
who are positive, I think those who are a bit educated. But those ones who are doomed like me, I don't know whether they understand what family planning means. And they don't allow their children. 1. 2, we have uneducated young girls and young boys who are resting in the village. How do we help them to come up about the issue of family planning? Otherwise, we are sensing danger down that side.
The Strengthening Adolescent Youth and Rights Empowerment Program is a 4-year project which started in January this year and is expected to close in December 2027. Is intended to respond to the increasing sexual reproductive health and rights needs among the refugees and host young people in West Nile and Acholi sub-region. The program will be implemented by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Sports and Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, among others, with funding from the Royal Danish Embassy. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumo for West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. 145 pastors graduated in theological studies after 3 years of studies in a ceremony held at Gospel Pace Ministry Church in Pakwach Town Council with the chief guest, Honorable Creochin Grace Freedom, the State Minister for Northern Uganda. Take a look.
145 pastors today graduated in theological studies after 3 years at Gospel Pace Ministry GPM Pakwach. During the graduation ceremony held at GPM Church in Pakwach Town Council, Honorable Minister Grace Creochin Freedom, the State Minister for Northern Uganda, urged the graduates to preach the message of love and peace to their flock. Honorable Creochin was the chief guest. During the graduation, tasked church leaders to embrace agriculture, as this will boost their economic activity in the church.
Preaching that this church should be creative. We are located in a strategic place which can be a tourist attraction. And we can bring in income to church. The government has been preaching this as well. So if nobody has picked it up to now, I think you, the church, you are strategically placed to pick it up. The government has plans and discussions about transport system from Lake Albert up to Nimule. It shall be an easy transport but also a tourist attraction.
Robert Omitostin, Pakwach District Chairperson, congratulated born-again churches in Pakwach District for supporting government through message of patriotism. Omito urged church leaders to always depend on the truth and they should change the mindsets of people about evil acts.
I want to congratulate and thank the born-again churches. I love you for one thing, honest and truthful. If we don't tell our people the truth, some people probably think that Satan was chased from heaven because of being good and was thrown in the Beelzebul was thrown in the Indian Ocean. Some people think he fell under the bridge. And so everybody want to be wise, everybody want to argue and think they know everything. And so bishops, pastors, if we run away from telling them the truth, we will kill our land, we will kill our own people, there will be no development, no growth. And so let's stick to the message in the book of John 8:32.
Meanwhile, Reverend Peter Winji, the Bishop of Gospel Faith Ministry GPM West Nile Region, said they have trained the pastors to be ambassadors of hope in society where they live. He tasked other pastors to be responsible for other training to strengthen their work.
If we listen to our conscience, we believe a society that honors God, rich prosperity and tranquility. We need to uphold leaders who are compassionate, accountable, and live by a national model for God and our country.
Osborne Onenchan, one of the graduates, thanked each church for giving him conducive environment to learn. Onenchan urged other pastors of born-again churches to also study and become responsible men of God.
It's my first time to undergo this program, but I want to say glory goes to God, and we have numbers of people who have come for this short time, and I'm so glad to receive our Honorable Minister of Northern Region, Grace Kushin, who is also with us here. Really, I want to say thanks goes to God. May God bless you all.
Among the dignitaries who attended the graduation ceremony include George Uforu, Chairman District Service Commission, Pakwach District, Reverend Dr. Pascal Alleluia, among others. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And with that, viewer, that marks the end of the Nilecast only on West Nile Television. Thank you always, viewers, for taking the time to be with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast only on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name remains Okomaringa Christine.